Hey guys, how's it going? It is not chow time. Let's see. It is Sunday, October 17th, and this is Ration Museum Bulletin number 56. Gonna hide that one and show that one. There we go. Hey guys, hope everybody's having a good Sunday. And let's see, we got Yossi, we got Jeremiah. Welcome guys, good to see you. We got a kind of easy show today. I'm just going to do a ton of cataloging, try and get through as many more boxes as I can today. Let's see. Oh, I got a whole light that I didn't turn on. That's right. There we go. There we go. So let's see. So we're gonna add some tobacco items to the collection catalog. We're gonna add some mess gear to the catalog and drink mixes, and then probably go find something else good from within the storeroom. So hope everybody's looking forward to some of that. We're going to eat a Canadian IMP from 10 years ago. It's a menu 6, and it is not beans and wieners, which is what I thought I was grabbing. It's a menu 6 lunch. So this is Hawaiian Chicken, which honestly sounds pretty good, but it also could be, you know, something that has mushed up a bit if the was it bromelain in the pineapple has started to eat through anything like the packaging, or the, you know, turn the chicken to absolute mush, or who knows. I'm sure there's some consideration for that when they're making these, so we'll see how one of these Hawaiian Chicken holds up after a decade. The reason I picked this one is that I already had 2 of this exact menu from this exact year, so seemed like a good one. Let's see, we got, see, it says Safari, just Safari, but it looks like Ben's icon. So maybe Howdy Ben. Well, it looks like the Safari icon, but I think that's normally his icon. And we got Kaylin, and we got Fordman, and we got Rosie. We got the crew rolling in. So good to see all y'all. So we got a couple items for mail call. One of them's not actually from mail, and but it's going to count. It was handed off by Aletha just as she and Jay and Pete were leaving last week. So just to remind anybody or bring anybody up to speed who, hey, there we go, I guessed right. Just to bring everybody up to speed, last week, Curious Pete and Aletha and Jay and Zach all came and joined the show for the duration. Well, Pete was here through the entire thing. The rest of the crew got here partway through, but we all were in time for dinner, and we ate a 1979 Mountain House commercial civilian survival meal. So we had green peas, which were honestly perfect, like beyond anyone's expectations, perfect. And we had what was it, beef stew? I think we had beef stew, yeah. And we had some peaches, which, unlike the military peaches, were like actual hunks of freeze-dried peach, like they chopped up a peach and then freeze-dried that, and nothing else. Whereas the freeze-dried peaches that we're used to, I'm pretty sure are like cocktail peaches, like peaches in syrup that are then freeze-dried and cut, you know, freeze-dried in sheets and then cut. So it's a little different. These just felt like they were just pure on peaches. So there was some light syrup that came out of them when they were rehydrated. So I don't know. Overall, it was a really neat experience. I'm glad we all got to take part in it. So let's see. We'll dive into mail call for this week. Just give me 1 second. I got to go grab something else for mail call. All right, I'm back. Oh, thanks, Rosie. I appreciate that. So this, I know traditionally you guys like to see me cut a box open. I wasn't thinking. I just pulled this one open right after the stream last week. So this is from Oscar as well. He and I did another trade, and I picked up the other chicken stew bars. I'm going to bring up the camera here. Uh-oh. Would help if I remembered to turn this thing on for the week. It was a bit of a slow start again, but this thing doesn't take very long to boot up. This room gets a fine layer of dust, like permanently, because it's underneath a high traffic walkway up above. So it's funny. This has only been in here a couple minutes and there's already a fine layer of dust on it. Let's see if I can wake this camera up. Got to get a little more hands-on. Come on now. I know you're there. There we go. Okay, so what we're looking at here, I'll see if I can find an angle where we can actually see this. Maybe it helps if I'm inside the box all the way. I don't know if that helps or hurts. I think that hurts. It's probably that I have the light coming from the wrong side. Wonder. Just ignore what I'm doing there. But yeah, okay. So we're looking at a food packet assault chicken stew bars that Oscar had opened and reviewed, and then reached out to see if I was interested in the contents. They're just packed with like napkins or something, but at least this way, all the packaging from this is preserved. I mean, it's not just like an MRE, like the packaging itself is still incredibly rare, so I'm happy for the opportunity to put this in the museum. So here we go. That's a pretty good angle. There we go. #1 chicken stew bars, innovative foods out of South San Francisco, California. And this had an orange beverage bar. And I think he did a pretty good job putting all these back together. Sure, there's some tape on it, and we'll want to do something else to preserve these in the long run. But overall, just to make a quick display out of these, I think it's great. And since we didn't open that other one 2 weeks ago or last week when we looked at it, this is going to be a good look inside what this is. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's see, we got Mike joining. An Average Joe MRE. Good to have you both with us. So here we go. So this was the assault ration's last hurrah, pretty much, in that form. The current day assault ration, or its closest equivalent, would be probably the first strike ration. Although I don't know. So the assault ration traditionally was a single meal. And it was meant for just quick, easy calories, but it evolved in a couple different ways along the way. So in this case, we're looking at one where it's primarily bar foods, which one of the coolest rations there ever was, just because the bars are just awesome. At least to me, the compressed food bricks, like those awful cookies you have to super hard gnaw on. Those are some of my favorite things out there. But the food packet, or the long life food packet that we looked at a couple streams back, that I got the prototype cases of, those had more bars, and they had the bar style mains, but this is different. So let's see. So this is a vanilla pudding bar, mixing bag and instructions inside. I wonder if they are, or if he had to. I think he used the bag. I'm not sure. It's taped shut, but we'll see what we find as we go through all this. So this feels like there's actually a bar still in there. And there might be more than one thing that still has its contents. I'll have to go back and look at what he and I were talking about, unless he happens to be in here. So this is candy chocolate bars with toffee, enriched sweet type 7, style 1. I love the naming on this stuff. This is a granola cookie oatmeal, or granola bar oatmeal cookie bar. It says both. And it looks like it has the impressions of 2 things. So this one was 2 bars. It's a wider pack. So a granola bar and an oatmeal cookie bar in that one. This had the chicken stew blocks. So this would have only had one serving of the chicken stew meal instead of like the modern long range patrol rations, Mountain House rations and stuff that have 2 large servings of it. Mixing bag and instructions inside. So these are all a little delaminated, and probably would have been less so in their vacuum form. There's definitely the jerky in here. I know he had said the jerky was basically leather, but this might be the only thing that's left that's still food. I'll have to double check. Simple, just beef jerky. Then we have an accessory packet. '80s MRE style. Matches, chewing gum, toilet paper, coffee instant, cream substitute, sugar and salt. This one is from, looks like a Cadillac. It is a Cadillac. So this is Cadillac Products Incorporated in Sterling Heights, Michigan. So there we go. We've got the food packet assault. No longer food packet assault individual. Or at least not as printed. Oh, wait. No. Wait. No. Just food packet common assault. At this stage. So there we go. We got our food packet assault contents, all bar form except for the beef jerky. You know, we had candy bar, pudding bar, orange beverage bar. Now this is just fantastic. Like, eat as is or break into small pieces in a canteen cup, adding 8 ounces of water. So this was your beverage packet, but compressed into a bar. Like that I haven't seen anywhere else. So that would be something I'd love to actually try. You know, I certainly would try gnawing on it. I tend to eat a lot of that kind of stuff just as is. Lately, my go-to snack has been the like the maltodextrin enhanced beverage-based powders, just you know, tip a little bit in and kind of turns into like I don't know how to describe it. I mean, kind of like Sour Patch Kids texture even too. It like bunches together right away. All right, so we'll put this back together. You know, actually, I think I'm going to keep it all apart as is. So, and he also sent me a desert bar. Actually, this one feels really good in terms of, that's a really crisp edge with noticeable notches. I have a bunch of these. I've never eaten one of these because they've always been crumbly, crumbly messes. Part of me wants to eat this one. I mean, not a bunch. I have, I think, 6. Special formulation for desert or tropical conditions. Hershey's Desert Bar. And you know it's desert, not dessert, because there's one S. You know, because it's too hot for 2 to grow. And with dessert, there's 2, because you always want more. That's the way I was taught to remember it. Let's see. 0522122. Not sure what that might mean. Let's take a look at the ingredient side of it. Well, let's see, you can pause that in the past if you'd like to take a closer look at any of that, but Hershey Foods Corporation, Hershey Park, or Hershey, PA, sorry, not Hershey Park. I do love Hershey Park, though. Glad you're starting to feel better, Yossi. Had a whole pack of roast beef and about half a dinner plate of mashed potatoes for lunch. Still full, says Fordman. Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds like a lot. I had some. I'm going to put this in here again for now. I'm tempted on this one. You know, I gave him all the opportunity in the world to not send me that one and to pass it on elsewhere. And he said he had quite a few, so I won't feel insanely bad if I get to try one that doesn't look like it's gone bad. I think he had a whole brick of them, but that might be somebody else I was thinking of. No, I think that's somebody else. So putting this off to the side for now. I'm not sure where that's going to get cataloged. Otherwise, I'd just take the pictures of it now. But I want to grab the other one and figure out a box that it goes good with. And figure out the best way of getting the pictures meshed up. I'm getting close on a decision for what I'm going to use to host the collection. I was looking at one yesterday that's really solid and seems easy enough for me to actually get it up and running and get some accounts attached to it and that sort of thing, so that I can start saying this piece, this catalog number, this overall collection has these tags, here's some pictures, you know, etc., and do that for everything in the collection, just a little at a time, until we can have something where people can go to the website and can browse through everything we have and can ask for more detail on anything or better pictures, closer up pictures, open something up and go inside that we didn't, already do. So we'll see. I'm excited about that. For some reason this week I'm very aware of the lack of music on this stream. I think I've been watching a few too many other streams and just thinking like maybe some background something, but I won't overthink it for now. So I guess I should have switched over to mail call since we started looking at some mail call items already. There we go. All right, there we go. So, mail call. I think part of it is that I just feel like it's so much quieter now that there isn't, a group of folks in here with me again. That was a ton of fun. Okay, first off, we looked at something similar to this last week. See, we've got trapped in some Scotch tape or cello tape or whatever. We've got a food packet. We've got LA food packet, life raft aircraft. So this is the second one of these for the collection of this style, and I think I have a loose lid for one of these. I'm not 100% certain, but this one is 1956. It's mostly readable. So data manufacturer June 1956. And so this is the kind that's got a key on the back and a tab on the side that you fit the key into, and you start turning it, and it peels a band all the way around, and then the two halves come apart. And this should have 2 rolls of like a charm style candy, but they should be in those bright red and blue navy packaging. Doesn't seem like there's any dryness to this one, so this might not be one that I consider for opening. It's probably just like a meshed up, mushy sludge in there. We learned that the smooth edge can opener doesn't do well with these rounded corners. So far, I do need to do some more tests on things that aren't these. I tried on some Spam cans, but I don't think the lip was as deep as something like this. So it's possible that this would fare better, but it was this like super tight corner, and in the other one, it was the shallowness that made it hard. So yeah, this one's looking really nice. The other one I have doesn't have as much scuffing on the face, so if I were to open one, it'd probably be this one, but not planning on that right now. All right, then the next thing we've got came from Aletha. So I think someone on the trip had to forgo getting this one, and is going to have one mailed to them because this one was snatched and passed on while she was visiting. But what we've got here is a Swedish military mess cup / bowl. So let's see, we've got the come on, focus. Got the triple crown mark, if we can get it to focus. There we go. So we've got the triple crown showing there. Yeah, almost. Probably bumped the camera, or I'm just vibrating too much there. You guys get it. So I think this is a really nice piece of mess gear. This will get cataloged tonight because we're going to be cataloging some British mess stuff, and there's room in that box, and it's foreign, so it counts. Just seeing if this sticky patch would hold it. Nope. But I imagine this would be great for hot beverage, hot soup, hot food, cold cereal, anything like that. This is just a great little Great little cup bowl thing. It seems like it would be a little awkward to pack, in and out or carry, but I assume you could pack it full of other things, put drink mixes and, powdered foods and stuff like that in it. So yeah, there we go. Very nice gift from Aletha. Much appreciated. So let's see, we're gonna open up the, I'll put that right here. We're gonna open up the Canadian meal, and we're gonna start with a couple of the snack items, and then start into some of the photography and get a bunch of that done, and then probably pause and do some food, and then wrap up with some more photography. We'll see the pacing of the whole thing. But hey James, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Let's see. I feel like everything's gotten a little darker lately. I need to figure out lighting, brighten things up a bit if I can. But if everything seems bright enough to you guys, let me know. I'll stop fussing over it. But so here we go. So this kind was pretty awful to try and open up without damaging it. The inner and outer bags really didn't separate, so I try and very slowly get it started, but probably going to do some amount of tearing. I just want to see if I can keep it from getting through the outer paper bag, because I would like to save this. Oh, okay. I think I worked my thumb underneath the seam there. So there is going to be some tearing there, but for the most part, I think we'll get this thing open pretty cleanly. There we go. And let's see what we got inside to work with. If we have a mess or not. Looking so good. Or looking so good. Looking good so far. Get a little more light in there. Alright, let's see what we've got. So this kind had the boxes on the outside and kind of a treasure trove of items on the inside. So let's go ahead and just do dump out. And we can set this bag back up back here and see what we've got. So we've got the little survey. Looking for feedback on the current rations and what's coming up. Got the actual Hawaiian style chicken. This one's Warnick. So Warnick, Baxter, I think, stop me if I'm wrong, Baxter now owns Warnick as of more than a decade ago, but so I think it's Baxter that's the parent company now. So we've got instant buttered rice. And I'll switch this over. There we go. To the generic one for now. So we got instant buttered rice, MSG added. There's a channel out there, Uncle Roger. I won't go too far into it, but dude's hilarious, and very much likes MSG. Need a scanner for those documents. What was that? Definitely an in general need. I've been using the one for my work, but we would like to have one at some point. Fordman said, still don't understand why they didn't include the heater with the rest of the meal when they redesigned these. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they were boil and bag, and I guess they must usually expected to be able to do that, but still feels like this should have an FRH. Yeah, I lingered on this for quite a while. So instant buttered rice. That actually looks really good. We've got strawberry sports drink. This has that like interesting package feel, but honestly seems pretty good. We've got instant coffee. Type 1. MPAC. Let's see. So the rice was also MPacket, and then this is Dr. Oetker. Dr. Oetker. Let's see, we've got colorant, not even whitener, just colorant. Can't make, non-dairy creamer sound any less pleasant. Oh, here we no, still, okay, whitener, dry, colorant. All right, I read the French side first, because I'm smart. So we've got a Nestle Aero Chunky Bar. I'm excited about this. I have no idea what this is. I've never had an Aero bar. Looks like it's got like little cavities and pits in it. I'm sure this is going to be bloomed up like crazy, but that doesn't mean that you can't eat it. Got a pack of matches. Looks like something a little different. Oh, I was going to say, it looks like something different about these, but yeah, it's got a salt in there. So these are not DD Bean. These are Eddie Match. No, that's just too small. Eddie Match, Pembroke, Ontario. We got a package of honey. We've got a package of honey again. We've got a really nice looking package of tortillas in bright foil with red lettering. It's really neat looking. Also the Warnick Company for this one. There we go. Yeah, check out that red on silver. I think it looks really neat. So there's tortillas. Got a little green peppermint candy. Got 1, 2, 3 packets of sugar to go with the coffee. We've got tea. We've got a wet wipe, salt and pepper, toothpick, chiclets. We got our gusseted hot beverage bag, our flimsy super long spoon, our heavy napkin, another whitener, and last but not least, we have the blueberry applesauce. Looks good. So, blueberry applesauce, Hawaiian chicken, tea, coffee, honey, whitener, sugar, etc., etc. We're looking good here. So let's see. We got Corey joining us. Egg fry rice. Now this is Hawaiian style chicken. Yeah, with the Hawaiian style chicken with rice, blueberry applesauce, tortillas. Interesting. Interesting overall. So I'm going to put the chicken and tortillas and rice and blueberry off to the side. Well, I guess I can't put everything off to the side. This doesn't have like super available snacks. This has this. So we could start with this. And let's maybe start with the rice. I don't know, but chicken and rice. Okay, we'll leave the chicken, rice, and tortillas together for a meal later. And we'll do honey and tea with that meal. Then we'll do coffee, whitener and sugar. I'm not going to have all of these, but coffee with whitener and sugar now. And strawberry sports drink with dinner, I think. Wet nap, salt, pepper. Well, matches we're not going to need today. Paper towel we'll probably need half of, but let's see. Hot beverage pouch we're going to use now for coffee. Just because why not? We'll put all these little bits back in there, and we're going to have this Aero bar with some coffee to start us off. And probably have some blueberry applesauce partway through the show, just as a pause snack. So we'll get that out of the way for now. And we will fire up the coffee pot. Get that going. Those, we're going to use the gusseted bag. Unless I break it. There we go. Look at it in all its majesty, standing up. It is very, very static, clingy. That's pretty funny. I don't know if you guys can even see what's happening with it, but if my hand gets close, well, maybe I'm crazy now, or I bumped it enough times that it's not going to work. No, all right. That's a weird part of the show, I'm sure. So if I bump it. Nope, it was working, I swear to God. I'm not a crazy person. All right, we'll move on. Might be able to get Aero bars since Kaylin out in Iowa. You know, it might be something that's available at, those international goods stores. I'm not sure. I've never tried to find them before. I didn't know they existed. And we'll see. Let's see. It's real milk chocolate. Doesn't say if it has nuts. It doesn't look like it has nuts. It's just probably aerated chocolate, maybe some rice or something. So the ingredients list seems pretty simple. Milk chocolate. That's it. The milk chocolate is sugar, modified milk ingredients, cocoa butter, cocoa mass, lactose, soya lecithin, polyglycerol, polyursinolate, I don't know, artificial flavor. That's it. So it's just milk chocolate. Well, I mean, with that definition. So put some whitener in there. Put the coffee instant type 1 in there. All right. Almost got hot water. And where did I put that? Wait, that's right. I wasn't going to have the rice yet. So, okay. Probably ahead of myself on how much water I boiled there. No harm, no foul. While we're finishing that, we'll open this up. All right, let's see. This is from 2011. Well, look at that. There's some like warping along the surface, but that's it. Other than that, that looks excellent. All right, water is boiling, which means I'm not going to be able to drink it for a while. So, gotta be careful here. All right. Okay, so we got our coffee. Ooh, I puffed up immediately as soon as I gave it a bit of a stir. Let me just do that manually there. I'll let that sit there for a second. We'll try this here Aero bar. Let's see, it seems to focus better when it's not all white in the background. There we go. Yeah, so it's just chocolate, but there's like a layer that's all, porous. It's kind of horrifying. They really should list air, Ben. It's one of the ingredients, you're right. Because, they certainly put enough in there. There's nothing wrong with it. So, civilian packaging inside a mid-2000s Canadian IMP pouch generally isn't a good recipe for longevity. You tend not to see these things lasting for an extremely long amount of time. I've had them 3-4 years in where they're already just crumbly white powder. The sugar and the fats and whatnot have started to separate, push away from each other from heat. So to see one, a chocolate bar, like that, after 10 years in just regular off-the-shelf packaging, I think it did a good job. Hats off to Nestle on this one. I'm sure the packaging itself isn't the thing to thank. Oh wait, did I not? meant to, oh, I keep bumping it. There we go. Yeah, so Nestle Aero Chunky, and you can see the packaging has the like little pits and holes in the words Aero. It's a really weird marketing, kind of thing. This does still seem way too hot to drink. I rush on these things. I'm going to keep this to the side for now. All right, last little chunk of this candy bar. I look at this, and I think as far as like data and like representation of this stuff goes, how are we at this point? There we go. Sorry. How are we at this point without a universal standard for nutrition facts in terms of like something international, something basic for representation of what these are? The idea that, this label has 2 languages on it. Oh boy, it's super duper extra useful because it's got a whole second language. But if there was a symbol, for fat, a recognized symbol, universal, and a symbol for sugar and a symbol for, carbohydrates and a symbol for this and that. And that's the way we learned growing up how to, look at these labels. Then no one would need to put any language on them. You wouldn't need to translate them. You'd just have, one symbol globally. You wouldn't need to have like, oh, does that say carbohydrates? Does that say fat? Does that say whatever? You just say, no, that's the symbol for this. Like you can recognize a stop sign globally. And there's a couple other, there's only a few other things that have, gone international without weird like exceptions and, completely different versions in a sizable number of countries. I'm sure there's even exceptions to the stop sign. It's not going to be cold enough, Sean. But, it's just, it seems like, that could be a solve for a lot of things, in terms of representing, train tickets or I don't know, all kinds of things, without necessarily having to use written language. All right, so that was our snack. We're going to get ready to do some photography and dive in on box 68. Catalog in the collection. Let's see, did I have something for that? I do. There we go. Okay. Get you back out of the way. And we will start. Box 68. Hey, Pete, welcome to the show. You missed some perfectly preserved Canadian chocolate. don't mind me, just booting up, getting the phone ready to take pictures all afternoon. All right, here we go. So, what we're looking at here, item 1, box 68, is a 2-men, 1-day ration container. So these were reused. This is 1957. Yep, this one's 57. So the meal would get made, packed in one of these, and then again and again and again, etc. So this was a 24-hour for 2 people. And this box is just empty. These pop up all the time. So this is definitely something that, if you like the look of, keep an eye out on eBay and you can find one. Oh, I see. Hey, Corey, thanks. I see you in the file. Awesome. I'm just photographing this old museum tag or collection tag or something to this effect. See, it says, yeah, it's hard to make out. Yeah, right. Ben saying that's a lunchbox. Definitely is a hefty construction. All right. I'm still wet. But I have to try these one by one. So I just watched these before streaming. This is actually why I was a couple minutes late. They're not in grand shape. And even after a wash, there were some stains and lines that weren't coming out with a good scrub. So they don't look perfect, but they don't have the layer of grime they had on them before. So this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 compo trays. So honestly, I'm just gonna stack the whole pile up. Well, actually, do they have the same stamping? This one's 1973. Depending on what they're all stamped with. A 2-person 24-hour ration seems like a bad idea. So if your mate buys it, you don't get any. Yeah, especially what if they're the ones carrying several of them. But, you know, that would have been the case if your meals were split up and one person was carrying them. I mean, a 5-in-1 would be 5 times worse, you know. So this is a 1989. Okay, we'll do these separately because they are going to be all different shades. I'm just going to get them all dry, take a picture together. You know, no, contradicting myself. Definitely just going to say times 11, various years. And I'm fine with that. Because we've got 73, 89, 87. You know, these certainly weren't issued with something. They were just part of the overall compo auction I got. Were all the ones in those boxes Gurkha rations, Corey? That'd be a really good thing to know. British tanker, 2 men, 1 day, empty container. Yep. Tanker ration. Speaking of lunch boxes, I still have my Transformers lunchbox with the thermos. Optimus Prime, Autobots one. So this one's interesting. This is definitely different. This has got a upturned lip with a little extra edge on it. This one is not stamped and dated like the rest. It's just totally different kind of bowl. I'm putting that to the side for a moment. And without like some kind of heavy polishing, I don't think I would be convinced that I could eat out of this one. This one was starting to rust. When I got them, there were some bits of straw and like dead spiders and stuff. They were probably just stored outdoors in a shed somewhere for years. Corey, what is the, let's see if we can get it. Probably not. It says, there we go. B and SB, right above that arrow. B and SB, 1989. And then the, probably NSN style number. So here's another more rounded one with an upturned lip and no stamping or etching or anything on the bottom or top. But all the rest fit the fit the pattern. So we have 9 of one pattern and 2 of another. And these all say B and SB. So this is 87. Let me see what we got. We got 87. We got 89. We got 73. 89. 84. 87. This is Towcraft aluminum, totally different. '89 and '89. So we have 4 from 1989, 2 from 1987, 1 from 1984, 1 from 1973. And what's fun is that from 73 through the late 80s, there's no change. You know, they look exactly the same. They could have been stamped side by side. Yeah, and I couldn't tell you the difference. So I think I'm gonna get a picture of the date stamp on all of them. So we'll say, yeah, I think that's fair. Just 11 tray. Oh no, yeah, okay, you can do that. You can do that. I see what you're doing, Corey. He's breaking them out. So yeah, we'll have. Let's see, starting with. Starting with 2 and 89. Oh wait, no. 4 and 89. Okay, yeah. The 89 don't look so hot. So I'll do a stack of 4 of them like that. And then get a close-up on good 89 stamp. Flip you back around. All right. And then 87. Well, I don't need to take the tops of all of them. I'm just going to get a good date stamp picture of the rest of them. All right. And then 84. 73. And then this Howcraft or something. And then two that are just blank. Distinct upturned lip. All right. Yeah, the 8 were the ones with dates. Then we can say 3 unknown manufacturer. Or 3 unknown. Yeah, that don't have date stamps. So yeah, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3. All right, then we'll add the Swedish cup from Aletha in this same box. Go. And that is box 68. Next up, we're going to do tobacco. So we got all kinds of good stuff there. Hey, Jay. Yep, it is a nice cup, isn't it? Perfect timing. Good to have you here, as always. So this I need much better organization for eventually, but we'll continue to suffice for now. Oh, hey, I bet you this coffee's not molten anymore. Let's find out. Let's find out together. Also, how much do we trust Canadian gussets? I mean, Canadian zippers. There we go. Eh, that works. That's not terrifying. All right, here we go. Yeah, only thing that could have gone really in this would have been the creamer. So still too hot by a little bit. Creamer doesn't seem great. I mean, it's whitener. It's not even like milk. Yeah, this is Canadian Instant Type 1. It's I think it's just a little dark tasting, like a little, maybe even just a little burnt from the boiling water. So I'll finish that up in a bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So this isn't military, that I can tell. It's just old. Same with that. Same with this. This is awesome. It has a 1926 tax stamp, but it's not military, so I'm going to put this off to the side. And we are going to get out all the rest of these little packets. Most of these are empty boxes. Some still have cigarettes in them, though I would assume that any that have cigarettes that are in this box, they're well beyond stale. Got a small collection of matches and whatnot. I think I'm going to move to the sundries box. So we'll put that out of here. All right. Canadians were using espresso roast, which was dark. Yeah, I think you're right. I did just spot another loose coffee, actually. So it wasn't one of these. That's funny. I literally just saw one of these fall out of one of the boxes, that wasn't supposed to be in there, and just pushed it to the side. So it wasn't one of these. It was coffee instant type 1, but could have been an espresso roast. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is from a Canadian Ration, right? Just this white tube espresso shot. Might have this at some point today. Just since it's there, jumped out at us. The darker the roast, the less caffeine. Interesting. So let's see, we've got some of these are some of the interesting kinds. So like this is just like blank packaging by the Laurel and Company of Greensboro. So just devoid of anything specific. It's got some major yellowing. Here's some better examples of the same thing. Here we go. So about as unappealing a box as you could make. So what I'd like to get eventually is like a little piece of balsa wood for each one of these boxes that's the right shape, to force it into perfect shape eternally, so that it won't get crushed like this. But I put them in their own box now. There's nothing of any size or pressure that's leaning on them. This is literally the contents of the box. So they should stay in good shape until we get the time to puff them out. I have scanned some of these things. I would like to scan more in the future with the better equipment and everything. So I mean, we are going to scan more, but I mean, I'd like to scan these some more, scan some more of them. So we've got, let's just line them all up, get a group shot. You can't really gloss over the fact that cigarettes were a huge part of military rations up through the 70s. and that, you know, still regularly included in military supply, yeah, in terms of bulk purchasing of cigarettes and that kind of stuff. Oh, here's a sealed pack. I mean, not sealed. Here's a pack that still has all of its cigarettes in it. This is probably, so this is a Chesterfield Kings. I would say 70s, late 60s, early 70s on that pack. We've got Camels, Lucky Strikes. This one's crushed. Feels like it. No, okay, it doesn't still have any cigarettes in it, but the pack itself is crushed quite a bit. I think it can be unbent pretty well there. Got a set of rolling papers. Again, not military. I'm going to put these to the side. These are pretty old looking. Not spotting a specific date on them. I would say probably 40s or prior, just from the style of it. If anybody remembers, Smokey might have been the one that gave these to me. I'm not sure. If anybody offhand was, let me know. I'm going to put these to the side with the other non-military tobacco items. All right, we've got these tiny little 3-packs of Fleetwoods and Philip Morris. Got a regular 4-pack of Philip Morris. Got another pair of Kings, or pack of Kings. This one's Newports. So we got the P. Laurel or Laurelard. So widen all this. And then we've got this very, very old, still full box of Martin's Navy Cut medium cigarettes. A gift for the members of the Overseas League. If I recall, these were like 1905, something like that. Presented with all good wishes by members and friends of the Overseas League, St. James, London. St. James's. So, Martin's Navy Cut Medium. Martin's of Piccadilly. So definitely a really interesting box of cigarettes there. I have an idea. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? What are the plain ones called? They're the, it looks like P. Laurel. Come on, focus. P. Laurel Cove, Greensboro, North Carolina. That's the only identifying tax exempt. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the back. Cigarette smoking may be hazardous to your health. So, I mean, sign of the times. 4 Class A cigarettes. That's it. That's the only markings on these. All 3 of them are the same. Oh, there we go. That makes more sense. Do. All right, so for box 69, I think we're going to want to go type by type. So we'll start with the Martin's Navy cut. Oh, wow, wait, did you just dump all that at once? 2X Pall Mall wide pack, 2X Pall Mall 4-pack. Wait. It's 3 of the wide Pall Malls, 1 of the regular Pall Mall. I just have 1 upside down here, but it's 3 of these big ones. Let's see, 3 Marlboro Red 4-packs, 1 Newport 4-pack, 3 Camel 4-packs, 2 Lucky Strike wide packs, 1 Lucky Strike 4-pack, 3-pack Fleetwood, 3-pack Philip Morris, Martin's Navy, 3 4-packs of Laurelard, whatever it is. All right, yeah, you got it. I think, oh, Chesterfield. Oh, no, you have the Chesterfield. Chesterfield 4-pack. Yeah, you got it. Okay, sweet. I'm just going to delete these so that they don't go out of order. And then reshoot it at the end. All right, let's see. So, going in order of what you shot, we'll do 3 Pall Mall wide packs. I'm going to use this white box to prop these up to get good pictures of the sides here. Let's see, so you can actually see what I'm doing there. All right, I'll do quick lint roll. So that was 3 Pall Mall wide, 1 Pall Mall 4-pack. Maybe I won't try and get the ends of all of these. All right, Pomo 4-pack. Let's see, 3 Marlboro Red 4-packs. In various states of cellophane undress. Yeah, I'm going to skip the sides on these. Well, no, I'm not. Camera, you're grounded for a week. Uh-oh, what's the camera doing? Camera needs grounded. Uh-oh. Is the camera just too far from anything? There we go. All right, Chesterfield 4-pack. Next. All right. Most of these do have, you know, tax exempt for use outside U.S. You know, especially the Vietnam era ones have that printed on them in a lot of cases. Not universally, but in a lot of cases. All right, let's see. Was the Newport the next one after the Chesterfield? Yeah. Okay. So these are Laurel Company. So I'm thinking that the white boxes are just unlabeled Newports, and I'm pretty sure that that is the case. I think we've talked through this in the past. Doesn't want to focus, but it is the same. All right, and then 3 Camel 4-packs. We've got 1 snap top and 2 slide through. These don't say tax exempt. These say complimentary, not for sale. So this feels like Vietnam era. These feel like RCI era or World War II era, but could easily be early Vietnam. This feels full. Let me see. No, just has that, for some reason has that feel to it. All right. All 3 have different backs. Nice. So we've got Camels for mildness or flavor. Once you've smoked Camels, compared them to the mildness and flavor. Wait, compared them for mildness and flavor. You'll see why Camels are by far America's most popular cigarette. R.J. Reynolds Company. No dating. Let's see. The best tobacco makes the best smoke. Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel. And then this one. We invite you to try Camel's. See how Camel's full, rich flavor pleases your taste. See if Camel's cool mildness isn't mighty welcome to your throat for flavor. Yeah, throats love cigarettes. Throats get temporarily paralyzed by cigarettes, but fleeting. Let's see. So, we've got 3 different styles on the sides as well. The older ones have the same side on 2 of the 3, or on 3 of the 4, but the newer ones, the newer one was different on all sides. All right, so there we go. Newer than the 70s, 60s. Who was the ad wizard that came up with that one? Well, they got to say whatever they wanted, about cigarettes back then. They could say, increases brain size and, improves your lungsosity or something. I don't know. They could just make up words. They could do whatever they wanted. I mean, granted, no one was forcing you to believe them. Nothing from the collection is, in general, ever for sale. Pete Torsia. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Good to have you here. But yeah, generally nothing that's up on screen here is going to be for sale. Once in a blue moon, we'll do a trade for something that the museum doesn't have out of things that I have a bunch of. That if you ever have ideas about that and you see me going through something that I have several of, reach out. But generally, I'm not looking to make any money on these. Say I made $30-40 profit on one of these or something versus when I bought it. It doesn't help me at all. That doesn't help the museum at all. Even if I turned around and bought $30 or $40 worth of new stuff or something. So I'd rather not sell anything that's made it this far. Trade, perhaps, depending on the trade, but sales are just pretty much off the table. All right, so let's see. We got through the Camels. 2X Lucky Strike wide packs. Okay, I'll speed back up. See, we're almost at 5 o'clock. We're doing good, time-wise. Got some tiny writing on these. Does anybody know what the MFT and the LSMFT on the Lucky Strikes? So Lucky Strikes, Mighty Fine Tobacco or something? The American Tobacco Company, Durham, North Carolina. Tax exempt, use outside the United States. 5 cigarettes, made in the USA. Yeah, they all have this on the bottom, the LS/MFT. My brain says Mighty Fine Tobacco, but I do not know. Right, let's see. So that takes us to the Lucky Strike 4-pack. So we have 3-pack of Fleetwoods. A finer, safer smoke. Nothing on the very ends of those. All right, and then the 3-pack Philip Morris. So, you know, that last one definitely still had the cigarettes inside. These 3-packs would be generally like K rations, had the 3s. Like Morale Edition, I think, had 3-packs. Yeah, I hope, you know, if Smokey does join, remind him he's got to go back to the 1 hour mark through. It'll probably end up being almost the 2 hour mark for plenty of tobacco. Oh, wait, is that next? 3-pack? Oh, no, that's not next. Delete. Right. That's next. Somewhere where you guys can actually see it. Get all this crap off the surface. Same art on both sides. This is guest package, not for sale, sample. And that's one of the first times I've seen, so that side just says push. Yeah. There is one cigarette in there. The end of it. PM and Co. This end. So it says Philip Morris and Company, limited, special blend. So I'll put that back. You know, even just having the one cigarette left in the package means, you know, we got a chance to take a look at it there. So, I mean, like, that's neat. That's worth it. And shed a bunch of tobacco on the surface here. All right, let's see what was next on your the Martin's Navy cut. All right, this one I was keeping in a plastic pouch on its own. Some could be from Korean War era. Yeah, the 3-packs could be. I mean, quite a few of these could be, to be honest. Unfortunately, I didn't keep like a list of what they came out of at the time. All right, last but not least, these 3 packs of probably Newports or Cools. These might be Cools. I think that was also the same company and same style, but could be wrong. We're going to keep them P. Laurel Company. All right, so that's that. That's all the types of cigarettes gone through. Not a lot for this overall box, but I should probably put military alcohol in here too, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't have much there. Yeah, I'm gonna put us on be right back mode, and I'm gonna grab some military alcohol. So, you know, the other things that I've gotten here, I'm gonna have to put somewhere else. So I've got this Mountain Rose smoking tobacco from 1926, a whole brick of it. I've got old can of Redwood snuff, dated fresh by March 31st, 1984. Not really remembering exactly where that came from. And I've got an old can of Sterno. So yeah, these are the things that turned up in this box alongside actual ration tobacco. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go see if I can find the military alcohol real quick, and we'll just keep that going in box 69. All right, so give me 1 minute. Actually, I think I have a short enough video while I dig for that. Let me see. I should not be keeping that stream open while I'm streaming. That is wasting the Wi-Fi. That's... yeah, this one might be perfect. Been trying to remember to do this instead of instead of just putting up the be right back screen, doing something a little bit more fun. All right, here we go.
Well, now that we've taken a look at what goes on the man's back in combat, let's take a look at what he wears in his stomach. In other words, combat rations. I plan to show you 2 types of rations, combat rations. And I'd like you to remember that the soldier in garrison eats a regular, normal diet, and these rations are designed to carry into combat. The first of these is the food packet individual assault ration. It has, I might say, that it's designed to take a man through 1 meal. It has, in this particular instance, a packet, which I'll show you the contents of later, a can of cookies and crackers, and a beef and pork loaf. Now, inside of the packet is a series of articles that goes along with the ration. First, there's the plastic little bag to carry cigarettes and keep articles dry in. There is the fuel, which heats the meatloaf. Here is a jelly bar, which is for dessert. 2 cups of soluble coffee and the accompanying granulated sugar. A package of matches and a package of cigarettes, which contains 4 cigarettes. A small roll of toilet tissue, a stick of chewing gum, and last but not least, a little bottle for the purification of water. It contains chlorine tablets.
All right, either I cut off when I was downloading it, or that's actually the end. I think that's actually the end, because then it goes into other field gear that isn't the rations. But, just a neat little clip. Okay, so, you guys can see here. Oh, dang it. There we go. All right. You can see here we've got just a can of Miller High Life. It's been punched open from the bottom, so the top is still intact. And it is stamped for military use only. Just, I only have this one beer can in terms of military beer. I've gotten into this before, but beer collectors are fierce and spend a great deal more than ration collectors on minor things. So their individual cans still spend $700, $800, $900 for it without batting an eye. And military beer among beer collectors is like super sought after, so that's in that range. Like I've seen single cans of military beer from World War II go for over $600, $800. So I'm not in that range, for military beer cans. They're neat, but they're not that holy grail to me. But I'm always looking for them. So if anybody ever spots one for a reasonable-ish price, just buy it and let me know, and I'll pay you back. Or if you think I'll be able to snag it in time, let me know directly. But yeah, this gets some bubble wrap, and this probably isn't even that old. This is probably in the 2000s era. So just realized I didn't reclose that door. There's always going to be stuff going on out there. So yeah, Miller High Life, King of Beers, military use only. Hey Bus Stop, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, man. And Viper, good to see you as well. The champagne of beers indeed. All right, so we got that wrapped up. That's going to go in box 69 as well. And then the last military alcohol, the only other military alcohol item I have, the label is not attached, but it's in great shape, so we'll just keep it with it. This is White Horse Scotch whiskey. U.S. Army open mess stamp on it. White Horse Distilleries. It's a little white horse on the cap. But yeah, just a PX labeled, pretty much. Tiny little bottle of Scotch, which I would have to assume would be a rarity. hear something inside of it. I don't see anything. I'll stop messing with it. The beers on All in the Family were pull tabs like that beer. Yeah, pull tab beer. Yeah, that should be a clue. Definitely wasn't 2000s. Good call. Just bringing that up. I mean, yeah, that style beer was done well before the 2000s. I don't have the can; it's packed already. But screw it. I'll open it back up. But yeah. So this type of ring, I feel like, was on its way out by the early 90s, if not late 80s. So it's not the era where you had to punch it yourself, which would have been 70s or earlier. But it's potentially up to 90s or tap top versus the smaller style, even with the wide mouth beer. So that thin mouth and the big wide tab, that probably is 80s. All right, let's see. What do we got? So that's all for box 69. We are going to label that and put that off to the side. So we got box 69, tobacco and smoking. And nil alcohol. There's plenty of room in this box, so hopefully we get some more stuff over time in terms of more examples of military cigarettes. The only other ones that I have are ones that are in accessory packets that are still sealed and stuff that aren't going to go in this box. And then I've got that big 5-pack. I've got that big 5-pack from the Ration small detachment 5-persons that had 5 20-packs. Still sealed, in great shape. So who knows? Whatever's in there is in perfect shape. That might be for a display someday, but for now they're all just sealed and kept together. All right, so that's those two. We're going to move on into box 70 in a second, but we're going to take a quick pause, and I think I'm going to eat that blueberry applesauce. So we'll grab this here bowl, collect that back. So we're looking at blueberry applesauce. This one's by Warnick. So the Ration is 2011. This is potentially a 2011 or 10-pack. Let's see. So it's got 221 or 2243 on it. Is the only 4-digit one I see. That wouldn't fit. $10189, I think might be the date. Might be a 189-2010. I'm not sure, but it's not 2243. That wouldn't make any sense in a 2011 menu 6. So let's see what some of these other dates. Yeah. Okay. So here's a date. 10215. So yeah, this is a late 2010 production on the items, probably a very early 2011 data pack. So that makes sense. So this would have been 189, not late. This is barely over the halfway point. So this would be somewhere in potentially very early July. This would be like a 4th of July ration right here. Yeah, 2243 might be a lot code. Kalen says that's quite possible. Just some other control number. All right, so we're going to take a look in there. Well, we'll just pour it out. Now, it looks a lot darker on the camera than I'm seeing it. Let me get this out of the way. Here we go. But it's actually pretty reddish purplish, I would say. There's some definite color to it. You can kind of see on the spoon. Yeah, this is good. So far, so good. We had perfect chocolate. Hey, Dub C, welcome. We had perfect chocolate, perfect applesauce. So I'm thinking when we get a little further in, maybe around the 6 o'clock mark, we'll heat that up. Maybe 6:30. Wrap the whole thing up with that. But so that's the Hawaiian chicken, tortillas, buttered rice. That's what we still have left to eat here. Oh, and some tea and some sports drink. Tea with honey. They gave us 2 full packets of honey. You know, that's one thing. I mean, it's energy, so I see why. You know, the military never really skimps on sweeteners, but they factor them into the calorie count. And, you know, unless people are stopping and just upending the sugar, you know, they're not eating it, so it's not making it into the calorie count a lot of times. Like, I like light and sweet coffee, but I don't know that I like it anywhere near sweet enough to consume all the sugar that would come with like an Italian ration or a French ration or a German ration, or in this case, a Canadian ration. The U.S., maybe our palate's just not as sweet, which doesn't make a lot of sense because we eat a lot of garbage here in the States. But you can see that didn't stand a chance. But you know, we get 1 packet of sugar, 1 packet of creamer, 1 packet of coffee, or you know, whatever it is that we're drinking, in all of our standard rations. And even, you know, in the FSRs, they multiply that stuff, but they don't give you more than 1 sugar for each coffee that you're going to drink. Whereas like in the French rations, they'll give you like 4 servings of coffee or 5 servings of coffee and like 16 sugars, you know. And in this Canadian ration, there were 2 full packets of honey, which those are big packets of honey. There's like easily a tablespoon in each of those, and a tablespoon of honey in a cup of tea is too much, let alone 2 heaping tablespoons of honey in 1 cup. And then there's 3 packets of sugar. So either, you know, I mean, they're giving you some options, I guess, but again, they're factoring those calories into the ration. They want you to eat all the honey, all the sugar, you know, to get those calories out of it. I'm sure you could take or leave the tea or the coffee itself, because a cup of coffee is only like 5 calories. But the sugar, the 3 packets of sugar together, is going to be like 100 calories right there. They want that in, you know, they want that in your intake. And the honey, same thing. It's just as condensed as it's going to get. So it's good for them, numbers-wise, and it's going to be sitting there in perfect condition in 100 years. But it's like, when are you going to get to those? Because nobody seems to like their coffee as sweet as you would have to in order to get through all that sugar. You're not sugaring up your applesauce. So I guess, overall, in like a really controlled study of calorie consumption and weight and all that, you could potentially see the effects of that over time if you were issued like break-even numbers and never consuming those. And it's actually the kind of thing that NATIC's been doing for decades. Is the kinds of studies where they'll give soldiers mess food and rations in two separate groups for extended amount of time, and do body mass, fat, weight measurements constantly, and do blood work, every couple days, etc., throughout the course of a field test of rations, and see, what the mass loss is going to be, because there's always mass loss. It's almost always going to be the case where a group of soldiers goes on MREs, or goes on freeze-dried rations, or goes on whatever it is for 30 days, usually 30 days or less. But, by the time that that's done, in a lot of cases, from what I've read, from the reports I've seen from, for instance, the, what was that, like 30-day Arctic ration or something like that, that Steve got one meal, one piece of, one of the very, 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 very few of those that, was ever made. Probably way less than even the long life ration packet that I've got. But the end of that trial, there were folks that had lost up to 16 pounds, and that's a lot, but it seemed like the average weight loss on that was 6 pounds. So if you were in that group, that meant, so think about it like 30 days, 6 pounds. A pound is 3,500 calories that you either got or didn't get. So if you're losing a pound in the period where you've lost a pound, and this isn't water weight, I'm talking like your actual mass, if you were dehydrated and weight, if you've lost a pound, there's 3,500 calories that you didn't consume, under your break-even point over the course of time where you lost that weight. So if you look at a month and you look at somebody being down 6 pounds, you can say that they didn't eat 21,000 calories over that period. So over 30 days, that means they weren't eating, roughly 800 calories a day that they should have been eating, by skipping over pieces in the meals, not fully consuming all the little bits in the corners or whatever, breaking things down and not getting all the way through it, or, any of a number of reasons, trading things around internally. Some people had better break-even numbers than others. And then always, when you're trialing stuff like this, you find out that your ration, your calorie estimates were too high or too low. So, I mean, if everyone lost an average of 6 pounds, they were way too low. Their estimates were way too low, because either everyone's throwing away, a third of what they're supposed to be eating for the day, or they aren't getting a third of the calories, or their exertion levels exceeded what their expectations were by roughly 800 calories a day. So all that kind of stuff, really matters when it comes to eating these rations. And I know that's kind of a roundabout ramble from, there's a lot of sugar packets in here, but I hope, this kind of stuff, I hope these kind of moments are helpful to folks. And this is, where I feel like I'm actually sharing something that might be useful. It might not just be some crazy person with his collection, Let's see. Caitlin's saying some of that sugar may be for the tea or the dry breakfast. Yeah, the breakfast is salted and buttered, so I wouldn't put sugar in there. The rice, and this is a single meal lunch, so it's meant all to be eaten together. This wasn't a 24-hour ration. So the rice, the buttered salted rice, is meant to go along with the chicken, I'm assuming. So the sugar and honey were your sweeteners. I'm assuming you could put sugar in tea, so you could put, not I'm assuming, you could put sugar in tea and you could just not have the honey. There was no bread, so there's like, sorry, I get a bit of an itch on my face there. I'm wondering if the applesauce is setting something off. But yeah, there's no bread product. There were no crackers. There was no pain. The Canadian bread, the loaf of pain. There was nothing else that you would put that on. There was the chocolate, and there was this applesauce. So it's either 3 packs of sugar between your coffee and tea, and then you just have honey that you don't use, or 3 packs of sugar in your coffee and 2 packs of honey in your tea. But in long story short, they want you to eat all that sugar and all that honey one way or another before you throw away the rest of the ration. So all that said, I'm going to put this off to the side, and we are going to continue on with some more cataloging. Going to jump on into, let's see what's next. We've got drink packets. So we've looked at these before on the show. I made some background photos and stuff from them. So they'll be familiar at least. Not going to go packet by packet by packet. Just going to go piles by type. At some point, I really gotta revamp what I'm doing for Twitch, because we don't really pull anybody in over there. See, you could have the tortillas you could put honey on. You're right, there is bread. That makes sense. Honey on tortillas. Honey and chicken and tortillas. I don't know. Maybe, or just the honey and tortillas as their own little snack item. We'll see what the chicken looks like. I think it's going to be kind of like pull apart chicken. And we'll see what the rice looks like. If it all mixes up, maybe we will put honey on the bread. On the tortillas, and then we'll put the extra sugar and whitener in with the tea. I think that's what we'll do. We'll see. We'll see what it all looks like. That'll be in another hour or so. All right. Corey, you still with me? Ready to jump into box 70? Box 70, we've got quite a bit. I think I have these backwards. Nope, that thing's huge. So for box 70, we've got just beverage bases of all types. But I do have some level of organization for. Do I? No, maybe not. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I've got all these cocoa, break, chocolate. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe what's best here is just going to be a picture of the overall box from the top down looking in, so you guys can see what I'm seeing over here. So this is all beverage bases of different types. So like up front here, no. So I've got the big square. Let's see, big square electrolyte beverage pouches. the sports bottle shaped ones. All of these are just a mix of these square, regular, smaller beverage bases. Chocolate, hazelnut, cocoa. We've got a lot of the cocos. We've got chocolate, milk chocolate cocoa. We've got like Irish cappuccino stuff. Yeah, these are all mixed up. We got raisins. Oh boy, we got raisins. I think I'm just going to put this whole box down as miscellaneous beverage. And raisins. And then take some just whole box pictures, and then we'll grab something else to look at. There's just quite a bit going on there. Hey, look, spiced cider. Somebody was asking about that last night. I think it was Rachel. Just dump it out and do a pile for each. Do you know how many different varieties of things there are in here, Corey? Do a pile for lemon lime, a pile for cocoa, a pile for cocoa hazelnut. There are at least 40 different types of things in here, along those lines. Cocoa beverage, mocha cappuccino, beverage base lemon lime, beverage base orange, beverage base powder orange, cocoa, mocha, tropical punch, cherry, tropical type 2, hazelnut, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here. Then there's all the foreign types. I think I'm just going to keep it as miscellaneous packets of raisins and drink mixes. And if I'm looking for beverages, this is the box. Teas and creamers and such. Sorry about that. Yeah, so box 70 is just miscellaneous packets. Alright, so let's see. Can I cue something else up while I go try and dig up another box? Let's see what we got. Now we watched that. That's 25 minutes long. It's half an hour. Nope, okay. Nothing super ready. I'm going to have to give you guys the Be Right Back screen for just a moment, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got box 71 and 72 ready to go. These shouldn't take too long. Probably should have grabbed more, but we'll see. Might be a good time to stop and make food when we get through these. So, these are going to be U.S. mess gear. Mostly the Korean War, though some items are a little newer. So, let's see. Might as well start with the trays. Get these moved around. Hey Dave, how's it going? Good football to ye all. Good football. Raisins and stuff, I guess, he says on the spreadsheet. No, that's all right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to that. Just wasn't in the mood to separate 100 types of packets of things. All right. So, we'll do these trays the same way we did the last set. We're going to go by rough chunk of years. So we've got, let's see. This one's the worst shape. This one's on top. Just from going through dishwashers and mess service over and over. The surface is actually beat up and soft, like it's gotten to the fibery inside of the tray. The back's, pretty much normal. But this one is 1966. So first I'm going to break these up into groups and then we'll process them. This is a 68. This is a 66. Bolta 66. Bolta 66. So this one, totally different style. It's in 1953. Another 53. And again. Again. And again. This is a 1977. All right, so we've got mostly Bolta 1953 of this one style. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 Bolta 1953. Bolta being B-O-L-T-A manufacturing. So just gonna try and get eyes on that part. Bolta U.S. manufactured 1953. That's not stock of 10 of them. So I'll get that over there. First round. This last one is actually the most common, manufacturer in these. This is Halsey. Halsey. H-A-L-S-E-Y. Halsey. I always say Hasley or Halsley. So this one's pretty beat up. This is a 1965. This one's a 1965. So let's see. So we got 53, 66, 68, 77. All right, so we'll go in date order. All right, so we'll start with 10. 10 Bolta, US, 1953. So these are the exact same type that were in use at the Boy Scout camp where I worked in the late 90s. And my first paid job was actually washing dishes there. It was not the job I was supposed to be doing there necessarily. It was just that there had been like a little staff walkout for the kitchen, and they needed other folks to step in and work in the kitchen for a week while they rehired. So I volunteered, and I got paid $100 to work a week as the only dishwasher for a camp of 250 kids and however many adults, doing 3 meals a day every day for a full week. So 750 sets of dishes every single day for a week. So over 5,000 full place sets washed. And it was an experience, you know. It's one of those things that you can't put a price on. You know, the amount of work that that went into that. You know, just goes to show, like, yeah, you can. It may seem crazy, but you know, stuff like that, you get through it, and you're like, well, no, if I was able to do that job for a week, I can do anything. Not necessarily just dishwashing, but all right. So this is the 1950 or 1965 Halsey, Halsey. This one's got a really interesting feel to it. And Halsey's in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Not Scranton. It's Scranton. These are 1966. So we've got one from 1965. We got 2X of the 1966. This is back to Bolta, and the last one's going to be Bolta as well. Oh, there's 2 more sets. That's right. They're both Bolta. So this one's 1968. And there's just one of these. Getting spoiled again. Corey, you this week, and Pete last week. Gotta say, it's very nice to just be able to keep lining things up and taking pictures while you guys are typing stuff out. This is more along the lines of like the one I eat off of for the show. This is 1977, also Bolta, but it's honestly, it's just that the surface is worn down so evenly, it seems like, because the back is the same kind of look and feel as they always are. So this is Bolta 1977. Oh, no, sorry. This isn't Bolta. This one's Halsey. So this one's Halsey 1977. Melmac is right on all of interchangeable words. Melamine resin dinnerware. Melmac was a brand name of melamine resin. So technically melamine would probably be the right one, because I don't think any of these say Melmac brand. They're Hasley or How's doing it. I'm still doing it. They're Halsey or they're Bolta so far. Excuse me. Let's see. What are you guys saying about, I'm going to have to scroll back up in this chat. What's got a 4-digit date on the bottom? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sure this would have been nice to see along the way. I was, let's see, looking at, yeah, they all have something to the, akin to this on the bottom. U.S. Bolta, 1968. This is pretty illegible here. Yeah, I can't really read that one. That one says Halsey. Jeez. 1977. Here's another. Bolta, 1966. Yeah, these are all dated. I don't have like a magic eye for these things or anything. So that's box 71. Here's all those trays. There we go, box 71. Get all this stuff out of the way. So now box 72. So in here, we've got all kinds of other things that go along with this. So these are going to be harder to date. So we'll see what goes together. So this is U.S. Kenro. So all these so far, LZ. I did it. LZ, different labeling. Kenro, different labeling. H. Kenro. So yeah, got a bunch in this style. U.S. Kenro. We've got a bunch in, probably the best one to look at there. Got a bunch in this style. That says Kenro as well. It's hard to tell, but also U.S. Kenro. Fredonia, Wisconsin. I've been using Fredonia as the name of a fake place for years, like the land of freedom. All hail Fredonia, a land I didn't make up. But yeah, Fredonia is actually a real place. Good to find out. So here we've got Halsey Inc., Scranton, PA, raised letters, U.S. So none of these are dated. We've got a different style, Halsey Inc., just a smaller version of the same one. I mean, much smaller, but then this one is the only one that's dated. So Vietnam, or pre-Vietnam. Come on. There, I saw it for a second. There we go. H, U.S., 1960. So I'm going to assume this is a Halsey as well. So just, the point is to have all the different manufacturers represented here. So I am gonna cover them separately. So we'll do 4X Kenro Style 1. So we're just gonna go styles other than the one that's got it here. All right. 3X Kenro Style 2. And I'm just going to get manufacturers' symbols for the rest of these. Halsey style, Halsey, H-A-L-S-E-Y, 2X Halsey Style 1. One X Halsey Style 2. Go back. And 1X Halsey 1960. And then we've got side dish trays. Hooray! So we've got probably, I want to say all the same type with these. These are Plastics Manufacturing Company, 1988. Yeah, all the way through the stack. So we're looking at Plastics Manufacturing Company of Dallas, Texas, 1988. Yep, all sets uniform, so we'll do them all at once. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We got 22 of these. There you go. 22 of those. You've got 5 of which type of thing, Dave? Bowls, side dish bowls, or the whole trays? Prolonware, 99531. Interesting. Sure, it might not be 1953 one, like, and then it's not a 9 in the beginning, just kind of maybe. I don't know. Might have nothing to do with it, might be a random lot. But 53 was a heavy production year for cafeteria equipment. Those are the fun things I get to say. Oh, 1953 was a banger year for, melamine cafeteria equipment. Banner year, not banger year. Banner year, that's the phrase. Alright, we're going to move on to coffee mugs. Let's see if these are all the same thing. They're all undated Halseys. Yep. So these are all the same thing. Halsey Inc., Scranton, PA, US. That's it. So there's 11 of these. There we go. And then got 12 cups, but let's see, at least 2 types. These are all dated, or not all, but these are dated at least. So we've got a bit of a leftover like yard sale label. So we got US 1952 with an 8, or wait, no, this one has WM, I don't know, unless I see it maybe somewhere else. This one's got some crazy symbol on it, some little curly thing. Look above the U when it focuses. Come on. Doesn't want to focus this time. There we go. So above, almost. Above the U, there's like a GP or CP or something, but this one is 1953. So we got a 52, we got a 53. We got some standard Hawaiian Scranton, PA, like the mugs, same stamp as those mugs, no date. Just Halsey Inc., Scranton, PA. Got a bunch of those. I think all these light colored ones are in that boat. So we got 2, 4, 6. So we got 8 of that type. 53, 53. So I'm not sure the manufacturer on either of the old sets, so we won't have one. We'll just do the year. So we've got 3 of the 53s, 1 of the 52s. So you put the 52 first. Okay, so I'll take the picture of the 52 first. All right, and then 3 from 1953. The weird pig's tail looking thing. And then 8. An unknown year. That are just Halseys. All right, there we go. So that's box 72. Wait. Yeah, that's box 72. Done and done. Where are we at? A little before 6. Yeah, let's stop, do some chow time, then I'll put these back, and we'll see where we're at with time, and we'll grab another box or two. Sound good? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so let's hold this back out of the way. Get that nice and ready for some food. So this one's of a different set. This is the one I eat off of every week when I have something. You can see this one's a 1981-82 Kenro. So we had a bunch of Kenro bowls, but we didn't have any Kenro trays before, so that's neat. Now we've got Kenro tray, though that one's not. You'd name your daughter Melamine? That'd be awesome. Oh, okay, that's just sugar. I'm like, what's on this tray before I eat off of it? All right, so left for dinner, we've got Hawaiian style chicken. We've got tortillas that I think we're going to take Kaylin's suggestion and eat with the honey. We've got instant buttered rice with MSG. MSG is flavor crack, makes everything better. And we've got some tea, some honey, some sports drink. But let me just show you guys the actual packaging again. So this is a lunch, menu number 6, Hawaiian Chicken, 2011. It's possible to have an entree substituted by another one. Military ration, not for resale. All right, so let's see. We're going to want the strawberry drink to be cold. So let's see, this says 250 milliliters of water. So we are going to go ahead and undershoot that by a good chunk. I'm going to try not to put everything in there. Yeah, we'll keep the chunk out and we'll see if that's strong enough. This is not cold, but not hot anymore. Now, we'll get that heating up for the tea, and then I'm going to need more to do the boil-in bag because that's not going to be enough to cook this whole thing. So let's see, we'll pop this out of there though. So it's in a sauce. There's chunks in there. It does kind of feel like it's one main piece. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. Let's see what we can see here. Chicken breast fillets with rib meat. I'm just jumping ahead to the other side of that parenthesis. Wow. Split 4 lines down. Water, pineapple tidbits with juice, brown sugar, brown rice, red bell peppers, green bell peppers, chicken base, parentheses start, it's a big long one, modified cornstarch, rice wine vinegar, flavoring, soy sauce, and that's it. Okay. So that's what's in this thing. Christine, I don't think I got to say howdy. How goes? I see 12 bus stop. Maybe there's 5 people over on Twitch. Hi everybody on Twitch. If there's anybody there, feel free to say howdy. I'll pass your messages on to the YouTube side. At some point, I'll try and have mixed chat somehow, but there should be enough to start this thing. So we'll get this rice porridge going as well. I'm just going to go ahead and give this bowl a quick wipe, and we're going to use that for the rice. This was just the one I was using for the applesauce, so it's not going to hurt nothing. All right, so put that there, put that there. So this says to fill the dotted line and mix well. Close the pouch and let it stand. So we're going to try that. It shouldn't have tore it as rough as I did there. We probably need a little bit more in the pouch, but we'll see. We'll see. Got some water. My friends in Montana have been telling me about how much colder it is there than here. So UK gets a little cold, but should be pretty temperate, right? Got some bits and bobs there. So we're going to do the honey on the bread. So that means I'm going to use coffee mug. I'm going to do orange cocoa tea. Do the whitener. Put that back there. Do the sugar. We'll do both sugars. Then we've successfully consumed everything when we're done. We'll certainly eat the little candy bits. Got our moist towelette for when we're done there. I don't see the, wait, Sean does not see the chat today. No, I see the chat. I'm talking to you guys. Hey, Aletha, welcome. I'm not sure if I see the chat on the Twitch side, is what I was saying. I think I do. Maybe I don't see everything, if maybe my thing is only on top chat or something. Sorry if I've been missing stuff that you guys have been saying. All right, I'm going to add the hot water to the line on the rice and the tea. Put in what feels like enough. And I'm sure somebody's going to say that I shouldn't add the sugar and sweetener before I steep the tea, but I do not care. So let that steep. I'm going to stir. The very, very thin pouch of boiling water and rice. I have a feeling that it asked for way too much water looking at this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and try and pour out a little bit of the water, and then when I go get more for the pot in just a second. No, that's not going to work. That's going to have too much seasoning with it, isn't it? Well, we'll see how this gets. I think it's going to be just a hair too wet, but close that up, and I'll just leave this running. I'll be back in 45 seconds. All right, I am back. There we go. I am back with some water. Gonna get this pouched meal in there, and we're gonna fire this back up. Getting to be pretty used to boiling stuff in this kettle. Works out really well. All right, so this says let's stand 8 minutes. Mix this sports drink up and see how it goes, and then we'll try some of this tortillas and honey. So the sports drink is definitely very red. I think the amount I put in there worked out, because that's pretty darn good. Let's see, so Dave's asking, would anybody be interested in watching LJ's last AME videos? I'm not sure. Who's LJ? Let's stop. You don't live in Germany or Estonia right now. You've been telling us where you live on every stream, and it's not Germany. I think you said you're in Minneapolis. Well, or North Carolina, or South Carolina. I don't know. I swear you've said more than one place. But definitely not Germany. Maybe in the past, if that's what you're saying, but you said I live in Germany, which you don't. Anyway, never mind. That's weird. I'm going to have these tortillas and honey. Let's see how this goes. That's just starting up down there. The rice probably has 5 minutes left or 4 minutes left. All right, so tortillas are the older style, but that makes sense that this is 10 years ago. They're soft-ish, kind of chemically tasting. You know, I'll put this back on actually. Move this here. Yeah, there's something a little off about them. The honey will get mixed up. See, I missed what he wrote 3 times. All right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back for it. Let's see. What did I miss from Yossi? If you said it again after Sean does not see the chat, then I'm not getting it, in which case it's probably something with the way the chat's getting passed, because I missed it 3 times, and then the last thing you said is Sean doesn't see it. Wait, no, then was a hey Aletha, then was Sean does not see the chat. Let me see. Last thing before that, I was in the Army and would march. We'll put sugar in the canisters to make us drink more. Oh, okay, so I did see that. Let's see what I wrote. Oh, okay, you did. There's the second one, and there's the third one. Okay, sorry. You did say that 3 times. I mean, sweet drinks are better than just plain old isotonic stuff. So here's some darkish looking honey on some bread. Let's see how this tastes. So the bread itself is pretty bad. There's something off about it, but the honey masks it really well. So like the piece I ate first tastes awful, but this much less awful. Still not great, but dramatically better with the honey than without. Let's steep the tea a little. Doing everything wrong. I think this has been about enough time. So let's take a look inside. See how much water has been absorbed. I'm just going to stir it and give it another minute. But it's definitely still wet in there. All right, the boiling bag is boiling now, so that's good. Yeah, the cornbread, or I mean the tortilla. Let's see, I'll have to take a look at it. It's yellowed like a corn tortilla, but it tastes like a flour tortilla. Yeah, this is a flour tortilla that's just turned yellow. Enriched wheat flour. Yeah, the only corn in here is corn syrup. Oh, sweet. All right, that's boiling. We'll let that go as long as the pot will continue to run. You know, honestly, this is a pretty good snack. I don't think I'd have thought to combine the two. I would have put the honey in the tea and then used the bread with the ration, you know, scooping it up. But I think the ration's meant to be eaten just out of the pouch. So, you know, because it's all gloopy and whatnot. I mean, or not gloopy. It has like a kind of a liquid sauce that it's in. The honey looks like caramel, he says. I tend to agree. It's pretty thick. And it holds its position on the bread pretty well, you know? Oh, nice. You guys are comparing what shows you grew up on from each other's countries. Let's see. Are you being served? Coupling, Python, waiting for God. Oh, One Foot in the Grave, if we're talking about old brick comms. That was always a fun one. LOLO. Faulty Tower, or Faulty Towers. Black Adder. Yeah, I mean, brick comms were like 10, 15 years shifted here in the U.S. We got a lot of the classic, you know, the classic comedies. We just got them years and years later and in the middle of the night. So there were a lot of kids grew up, like their first real exposure to British TV would have been like Doctor Who and Are You Being Served and Keeping Up Appearances, like in the middle of the night, you know. All right, so we got this boiling. I'll let that sit for another minute. We'll take another look at the rice, see how that fared. I ate as much of that honey as I could. I'm just going to pour out all the rice and we're just going to see where it ended up. Looks like there's still a bit of water in there, but for the most part, like it reconstituted pretty well. Okay, so this is instant buttered rice. I'm just going to go ahead and pour out the excess into this back compartment. There we go. No harm, no foul. So there we go. We got a nice looking pile of rice. I'm going to let that cool before I try and eat it. I'll move all this stuff. And we will try the tea if it's cool enough. I think I'm not supposed to squeeze afterwards, so I won't. Israel has excellent honey, says Yossi. Are You Being Served and Are You Being Served Again still every night, every Saturday night on PBS. It's amazing. That show's timeless. And Are You Being Served Again, the follow-up one on the farm, that was an interesting thing that they even thought to do there. Bring them all back and keep the show going. All right, getting this out without burning myself, always a fun endeavor. This is extremely hot. I love how hot this thing gets it. So something that I find is very important to the quality of an MRE, or in this case an IMP, is getting it hot enough. they're all meant so that you can eat them cold. You know, you can bust them right out and have no trouble with them, you know, cold, other than congealed fats and that sort of thing. But the actual flavor of them is dramatically different when they're hot. And just about all of them are meant to get piping hot. Because you really want everything not just to get back to that liquid state, but then to kind of soak in and bubble and etc. in that state and mix back around, get everything even again. You know. Oh, geez, Japanese TV sounds pretty wild, James. Old school Japanese TV showing X-rated stuff as regular commercials. That's crazy. That pouch did not want to go. Okay. Definitely a interesting smell. Super duper hot pouch. Okay, so let's see. Other than the wastewater sector, which I'll just put this there to absorb that. But other than that, this is looking like a very nice overall meal. So you can see the red and green bell peppers. You can see the hunks of pineapple. It didn't completely liquefy the chicken that's in there, though the chicken looks more like a hamburger at this point. You know, the rice has little herbs and butter and stuff on it. So overall, looking pretty good for a meal from 2011. I'm going to start just going to try out the rice. You know, I'm glad that we ate that I ate the candy bar and applesauce in stages earlier, because this is a good chunk of food right here. That's actually really good. At first, it was just a little different than I expected. Montana, they used to not have any speed limits either, bus stop, but that was a little before my time living there. When I moved out there, they had enacted the speed limit at 80 miles an hour. Prior to that, it was reasonable and prudent. So if you were in a car that was stable at 140 on a straight road out there, you, you wouldn't get a ticket for it. That's real good. All right, let's see. Let's see about the actual Hawaiian chicken. Honestly, I think that's in really good shape. Should have tasted a little bit less. I'm just testing for slime factor. I should have tasted a little bit less at first, but you know, it's fine. Down the hatch. Blackadder was Mr. Bean, Ron Atkinson, and oh, all I can think of is Baldric, which is Tony Robinson. But a lot of folks, like medieval era, not Robin Hood, but kind of like a bumbling Robin Hood. Bustap says, I need some blue bonnet butter on here. Or some red feather, Yeah. It's got like a butter powder, so it's yellow. This camera just doesn't do regular color justice here. I am impressed with the buttery flavor of it. Gonna have some sweet light tea. Oh, okay, so there's brown rice in here. It's just got some peppers, some chicken, and some brown rice. And a chunk of pineapple. So there was like fake grill flavoring or grill smoke, but there's this like etched grill pattern on the meat. Don't know how well it comes across, but just kind of a silly choice for something pouched, Yeah, it's got the guy from Mr. Bean, but it's not really like Mr. Bean. He talks for one. Yeah, just regular Mr. Bean stuff. If you've seen, 2 or 3 sketches, you've pretty much seen it all. I mean, it's my opinion on it, and that's just an opinion, because obviously, people love it, and there's a reason why to some of them. And with a lot of stuff, it seems silly from the outside. People that really love it gave it a little bit more time and found something to love about it. Like, you could say, oh, Red Dwarf. There's a fun British show. Like Red Dwarf is pretty hard to just sit down and watch as an American for the first few times you try. It is absolutely worth it. It is a great show with a lot of good content over, a decade and change of episodes. But there's some, there's a learning curve to being able to watch the show and get the humor. This feels more like, this tastes more like a Mexican dish than what I would think of as a Hawaiian dish. I mean, it has pineapple in it, for, sure, but the peppers and the base and everything, I don't know. Or maybe even more like a Chinese food. Like Americanized Chinese food. Overall, though, I gotta say, this whole 2011 IMP held up, passed all the tests, tastes great. right down to the chocolate being totally fine, which, you know, for a civilian pouch chocolate in a regular Canadian MRE pouch, you know, that's a dice roll that you generally don't win. So I'm happy there. Let's see, last food item left. We're still wrapping up the rice. Tiny little bit of food still in here, don't want to waste it. And then we'll have about half an hour to do another box or so. This is great. Laurel and Hardy. Christine just mentioned. Wait, or who did? Yeah, Christine just mentioned. I grew up loving those guys. Watching their, you know, I mean, their stuff's very old. Like, some of it's got to be going on 80 years old at this point. It's crazy to think that some of the Charlie Chaplin stuff's more than 100 years old now. So the first Laurel and Hardy movies were 1927. So yeah, in just another 6 years, the first Laurel and Hardy movies will be 100 years old. And they kept making movies until the end of the 50s. I mean, until 1955. So, you know, there's still quite a ways before probably the ones that we're most used to or that I'm most used to are 100 years old. But some of their oldest stuff is going to be 100 in just a few years. I mean, that's just amazing. But I'd say this is a success. We've got the rice is good, the tea, is good. Both the packets of whitener survived. We've got the juice we'll wrap it all up with. This is the strawberry Gatorade, basically, the strawberry isotonic sports drink. So, yeah, that's overall, that's a successful 2011 Menu 6 Hawaiian Chicken. Sorry for anybody that I got hopes up to see a 2006 Beans and Wieners. That would have been one that I would have enjoyed quite a bit, but it would have also been confusing as to why I would have it in my, you know, eat pile for that long and not have gone for it. Get some bread and mop up the juices. You know, I don't want to waste anything, and I don't want to act like I'm doing this just because the audience is daring me to. But I'm gonna drink this remnant juice there in a second. Just want to get the water from the rice out of there so it doesn't blend into it, because that would be very different. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. Yep, that's actually really good. Last little bit of this stuff, and we will consider this completely utilized. Just there. There we go. That acceptable? I would hope that's a good enough amount there. Okay, so let's see. There's that for dinner time. Move these out of the way. Got an after dinner mint, got a toothpick, and got a hand towel. It's a hand towel. So I'm just going to use this. All right. And then some gum afterwards. Pop in this. Normally I just, with a peppermint, you know, you kind of put the whole packet in your mouth and then pull out and it pops out at one end. Yeah, this one stuck right to the plastic. Did not move. There we go. All right, I'm going to be right back with another box of stuff. We'll jump in at box 73, get one more in at least, and then we'll wrap this up for stream 56. I totally didn't switch the title up there to Chow Time during Chow Time, so success. And for the first time, I had actually done this in advance, so it actually says the right thing. Oh well. You know, it's all a work in progress. All right, I'll be back. Give me 1 sec. All right, I'm back. See, Pete's saying he tried to watch the replay from last week, but his voice freaked him out. It's something you just get used to eventually. Believe me, I don't sound like this in my head. And that's all of us. We don't hear what we actually sound like because we've got, you know, our bones and stuff getting in the way and changing it. So we sound different than we think we do. I sound a lot more nasal in reality, I think, than in my head. So I don't know. Most people don't. I don't think most people like their real voices because it's not what they're used to. But it's what everybody else is used to. So don't overthink it. You sound fine. Hey William, welcome to the stream. And Aletha, I'm not sure if I said howdy earlier, but howdy. I know I said howdy to Jay when his name popped up. around the time of putting the Swedish cup out there. Just going back, making sure I didn't miss any Yossi. All right, looking good, looking good. Hydrate, says William. I just had a cup of tea and a cup of juice from that ration. One of those was Gatorade, so I think I'm good for a little bit. I think I'm hydrated. So let's see, we've got time to do probably 2 more boxes before 7. Just gonna have the last food item from the ration, the gum. See, even this didn't work. There we go. Camera still got plenty of juice. Did not need that this week. All right, we'll put that back there. All right, let's see. So I grabbed 1 more box of mess gear. So we've got, let's see, this is going to be box number 73. Not sure if I still have Corey over there. I know it's getting late. So I'm just going to start typing this out in case, or unless he jumps in. All right. So we've got a couple canteens. We've got some more trays. And that's it. Just a couple things in this box to get cataloged. So I think we'll start with the trays. Oh, he's there, I see. Okay. So we're going to start with one of these style. No specific mark. Oh, wait, no, there's marking. $1942. Man, whatever it is, it's very worn out. US. I don't know. The part that I can make out is US 1942. It's not going to, well, I mean, we can try, but it's almost certainly not going to be readable in here. No, it's readable. Was for a second at least. 1942. So cafeteria tray, US 1942. Or steel tray, US 1942. Same shoe. Then Grumman, 1985. This would have been like shuttle program era. SR-71 Blackbird era. That's just, yep, you got it. Grumman making rocket parts and fighter jets and mail trucks. All right, so modern era canteens. We can say 1985 canteen with mole pouch. Mole with 2 L's. Corey's going to say, I know that. And I'm going to say, how would I know? I'm sorry. And this is 1995. And it's got the nuclear, biological, chemical adapter. So does this one. This one's definitely meant for that, though, because it's got the great big heavy clip, you know, that should be able to clip onto just about anything without much finagling, you know, no fine detail when you're in one of those suits. So, let's see, this will be the third one. So next one we're going to do is the collapsible canteen, 1998. All three of these have the NBC port. This gum is already terrible. It's like, it's bitter already. It's weird. But hey, it lasted as long as it could. My phone just buzzed at me somehow. Yeah, this phone, it didn't catch up. Last text I got is, hey, it's Pete. I'm in front of the Honey Badger studio. He was referring to the place above me when he got here a week ago. So yeah, that's out of date. Interesting. But it just said one brand new message. No pouch for that one. And then last one of these canteens for water only. So this one's black. It has the great big, you know, easy attach belt clip or strap clip or whatever. It's got the very easy to open NBC adapter. This one's never been used. Still smells like new plastic. This one's 2002. That last one was 1998. I see 88. It's definitely 98. This one's 2002. High temperature plastic. Do not apply to open flame or burner plates. Made in the USA. It doesn't say company on it. Made in USA. HCP. HCP. Nope, I don't see a company on this one. Alright, so that's box 74. Or wait, no, 73. Box 73. Gives us a couple more minutes to do this last box, and then we'll call it good. This last one, box 74, is another miscellaneous collection. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to juggle around once I'm done cataloging. It'll be easy to go in and pick up an item, put it in a different box, and change its position in the catalog. You know, that'll be easy once we're done making a list. It'll be apparent where there's stuff that should get recondensed together. Like, I think I've got British stuff, like, everywhere, so I'll have to be recondensing that. Case in point, I've got a CCR I got from Corey. 24-hour cold climate ration pack. Pack dated 2019, menu number 8, and it is still sealed, still doing just fine. These things are huge. I need to get a bunch more of these and eat one. I definitely want to get much closer on the text on this. Feedback on this ration should be submitted to feedback@bestday.com. Feedback. I love you guys. Send me a pallet of rations. Now, haven't used any museum clout for that yet. That'd be a beautiful day, though, right? Said, oh, absolutely! You're the Ration Museum. We'll send you everything in the world. All right, so here's another one of those Kazakh rations that I was gonna eat the other week, but it was leaking. This is one that I already opened and fixed, I believe. So let's see. There's a meal. No, okay, no, this one just wasn't leaking. So this one's in good shape. It just had one of its inner bags broken. And yeah, none of these parts were leaking. So the one that I'm planning to eat is definitely in worse shape than the collection one. Wait, was this Belarus? No, this is Kazakh. This is Kazakh. Kazakhstan menu number 1. And we've got a Belarusian. And I have another one. I'll be right back again. I just thought. I should throw this in there. I had eaten the partner to this. Now I'm trying to remember if this was Latvian or Estonian. Bus stop. Is this Estonian? This is Latvian. This one's Latvian. All right, so let's see. The one that we've got on the box or on the plate here is Belarusian. Just gonna one picture that includes the inside. If this opens, or was this the one that was like glued shut with sugar? Uh-oh. No, it's fine. So this had a candy bar, some little candies, probably pate, yeah, pastiet, 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 pate. Of course, it's got kasha and tushonka and sardines. Yeah, you know, pretty standard fare for these, but all very good stuff. Pate, kasha, tushonka, and some fish. But yeah, this one Belarus. We have our emergency flying ration Mark 9. This was the one with all the really neat bricks inside, like those sugar cubes for your tea and stuff. Beverage pack, like this thing is just awesome. This one is Mark 9, 1998. We've got a Chinese Navy ration. 2018. These are neat. They're just they're a tray inside. Yep. So this one's broken, probably in customs, but you've got the, that might be, I don't know, it might be spices or flavors or something, but you got your main comes inside the ration heater bag already. The whole thing's a great big brick. I got this one to eat. I still might. I'm not sure. You know, there's stuff that right now I'm just cataloging it, you know, getting a feel for it. But some of this stuff is still technically trading fodder or food fodder or whatever. As long as we've got multiples. And I do have another one of those. All right, so this Latvian one. Latvian menu 6. be the last one for this box. And we'll let this sync up the photos before I go home, and we're good. Holy crap, it's been going the whole time. It's already done. That's great. All right, so we'll have Latvian, Belarus, Kazakhstan, China, and then 2 British things in this box. Box number 75. So tonight we did 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. We got 8 boxes done tonight, guys. That's great. I'm very happy with that. 8 boxes done. Got a good classic IMP with good chocolate after a decade. Overall, very pleased with how everything went. I think we had a successful everything. There we go. All right. Let's see. Wait. Oh, he got Latvian up ahead. Let's see. After the Belarusian. All right. I won't get confused looking at pictures. It's usually just when I have like 6 of the same thing in a row that I'm going to need the pictures to be in the same order as the stuff in the catalog. But that I won't get confused. You know, Latvian versus Chinese. All right. Something from that dinner's got my face itching a little bit, but overall, I'm feeling fine and dandy. No problems at all last week after the 1979 meal. I'm hoping the same can be said from Aletha, Jay, Zach, and Pete. But Pete's saying he may try to be back next week. Yeah, keep me in the loop. That'd be great, man. I'd love to have you here. Yeah, did any of you guys have any stomach issues after last week? I think that, that was a pretty safe meal, being freeze-dried, and I had no issues at all. The meal the week before, that was a little dangerous, but that one was really good. That was the Chicken a la King, the 1991 Chicken a la King. And I was looking at some 1991 IMPs too, and I do have quite a few of those, so I may still pull a 91 IMP at some point. But Jay says everybody was fine on his end. Stream last night kept dropping. You mean Smokey's stream? I was having some problems, but I did get back in. There was a chunk. There where I thought it was down, but I just had to refresh. Fine and dandy like sour candy. I love that phrase. Bust up. Hey Paul, I see you on here. I just saw your email, your response, and hey, thanks for your patience. I'm slow at all this. There's 8 billion things going on at once, as you can tell. I do have to put a chunk of effort into getting this show ready every week and the social media and all that stuff, but I try to get back to the emails as much as I can, and yours is awesome. I'm super excited, to work with you to get you some info on the space stuff and for you to help us, expand our knowledge in all things rations. So I'm glad to see you stop by here. I hope you caught some of the earlier parts of the stream because, we're wrapping up at this point, but it was a great night. I think, we got another, technically a bunch of those things were multiples, but we added another 60 lines to the spreadsheet. So looking good. Coming up on 800 different types of things in the collection. And we still have like 2 rows of boxes to go. And then all the big stuff, all the stuff on the lower shelves, all the great big heavy items that we're going to have to catalog too. So we've got crates and barrels and the field desk and the B-17 kitchen and the ovens and all that stuff to add to this master catalog and get a couple pictures of. So stay tuned. We have quite a bit over the next couple months. My hope is that we'll get cataloging done before the end of 2021 and get it all online so that you guys can take a look. In the meantime, if there's anything in particular anybody's looking to find, just reach out. My email address is down there. and I'd be happy to dig through the collection for you. I've been trying to do some research here and there for anybody that's been asking, which has been exciting. I've had a couple folks in a couple different countries reaching out about, some specific details for rations that we've got examples of, or even just in general, since I'm pretty good at digging through all the old Army books on the subject and have been finding some really interesting stuff. I hope to put together some little micro presentations for the near future on some of these things that we're looking into. But, oh, Corey, yeah, I can get you the dimensions this time. Sorry, I got distracted last week. I can just go grab a tape measure. That's the problem, is I don't have a tape measure in the museum, but I know there's one in the building. I'll go do that after this. So, yeah, we got another couple months of doing this every weekend, and I think we'll have every single thing in one giant list. And we're already at almost 10,000 photographs for the collection, so it's quite a few. But we'll get that all online and available to everybody. And I'm looking forward to the next phase. Which hopefully includes some fundraising, expansion into another room, a permanent set, a permanent 3D scanning setup, a permanent photography zone, and like a fixed broadcast space. That would be fantastic. That's like our baseline goal, is cover 2 offices for a year, and then beyond that, I'd love to be able to afford insurance for the collection. And to be able to add to it without it necessarily just coming from my pocket forever. So, bit by bit, we're going to get there. And, there's still quite a bit between now and then. So thanks, everybody, for coming out for another episode of the Ration Museum Bulletin. This was episode 56 for Sunday, October 17th, 2021. I'm glad everybody had a great time here tonight. I did too. And I will catch you guys next weekend for Bulletin 57. So until then, everybody, I just want you to stay rational.